So as a young entrepreneur, you have many different tough hurdles that you just simply don't know how to solve. And I feel like many top gurus or top entrepreneurs don't talk about it enough. And they really don't talk about the mistakes they made enough either. And that's kind of what I'm talking about in this video. So today we're gonna talk about 3 mistakes I made when I started running my business as a successful 20-year-old entrepreneur. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I dealt with, and I think not enough people talk about it, is too much fear, too much worry. And that's a better, I guess, terminology, right? When I got started, I simply just didn't know where to start. And the problem is fear comes in because you haven't done it before. If you're trying to do something monumental, you're trying to do something really difficult, things like this happen. You're gonna get fear. You're gonna feel fear, all right? And you're gonna get really worried. And that's part of it. But you gotta love the chaos. You gotta love the panic. You gotta love all the difficult things. Because I promise you, as an entrepreneur, those are not going away, okay? Fear is, I guess, fear can go away, but the stress is never gonna go away. You gotta love the chaos, love the stress, love all the things you're dealing with. I promise you, and that's gonna lead you to more success, okay? So I guess I'll kind of even talk about this in further detail. As a young entrepreneur, when I got started, I was 18 years old, okay? My first, I guess, thing in business was I was a cold calling. I'm very, very happy I started doing that in my business. And I'm very happy that I started with cold calling because I learned so much about myself, okay? But my first call, I remember, I was so scared. And I literally hung up on that person. We had a decent conversation, but I hung up on him just simply because I was scared. And that's the thing is, you have to be okay being scared. I would rather lose trying than not try at all. I promise you, if you're an entrepreneur, you're gonna fail a lot more than you're gonna win. But the thing is, those failures are a learning lesson. And if you failed, congratulations. You made a huge step that most people are never even capable or willing to do, okay? So again, with this, fear can go away. The stress is never gonna go away, so you have to learn to love the stress. Like that's the thing I guess I can keep bringing up over and over. You gotta love the stress, but when it comes to fear, don't be scared of it. Look at fear straight in the eyes. Look at that shit straight in the eyes, and you're gonna beat that shit, all right? That's how you have to deal with that as an entrepreneur, and that's how at least I dealt with it. I guess in the last few years as an entrepreneur, using my businesses and my different techniques to handle all the emotions that your brain gets from being an entrepreneur, all right? So number 2, don't be scared to spend money. This is a really tough one because most people are like, okay, well, I don't have money to spend. Okay, it's so simple. I'm gonna break this down so simply for you guys so you have a very clear indication of what you need to do to make a lot of money, become ultra rich and ultra wealthy, okay? If you have no money, that's the first step before I get to this step. If you have no money, then you have to get a job or you have to figure out how to make income on a monthly retainer, right? Because you need to spend money to make money. I promise you. Right now, I'm into my business and I'm doing a lot of things with AI. AI isn't free, y'all. To have really good systems, it's never gonna be free. I promise you that. So please understand that, okay? It's never gonna be free. No AI tool that's good will be free. It's gonna cost money. And you have to be okay with spending money, but you have to look at it as an investment, not an expense. An expense is buying clothes or buying jewelry or buying a fucking Rolex, all right? But investment is in yourself. Anything that has to do with lead generation and getting people to pay you, that's an investment. Don't think of that as an expense. That's totally separate. Also, if you have a business, you can write all those expenses or all those investments off. They're technically expensive, but if you buy things that are helping your business out, like computer software, AI tools, running ads, marketing, it's a complete write-off. So I'm not here to give you guys tax advice, but I'm just saying, don't be scared to spend money. The top entrepreneurs in the world spend millions and millions of dollars a year on infrastructure, on employees, on systems, more AI systems now than employees, but you get the point, okay? But I was scared to spend money at first. I always had this fear of spending money, not quite sure why, but just what's what happened to me. And I realized that paying $100 a month for a subscription here or $500 a month for a subscription here, if it genuinely gives me value and saves me time, that is worth the investment because my time is money, right? There's 2 things in life. You have time, you have a lot of time, or you have a lot of money. There's nothing in between. So you either have a lot of time and no money or a lot of money and no time. Most of you guys who are watching this probably have a lot of time and no money, right? So what do? You have to figure out how to use your time to make money. And then when you make enough money, you delegate things, right? Because as an entrepreneur, especially if you're a solo operator, it's very hard to scale your business, especially with competition because people are using AI agents to fund their business and I guess do things for the business, and also employs other people they delegate tasks to. If you're doing a one-man solo mission, it's really tough to get to the point you want to get to in terms of scaling. So I would highly recommend to, if you have no money, make money so you could put it in your business and go all in. Don't go half in. There's no point in running a business unless you're going full throttle all in, okay? So if you're scared to do this, you're not gonna make it. I'm promising you, because people like me who don't give a shit, let's put all their money on it and say, fuck it, that's who you gotta be like, not the person who's scared sitting in the back, okay? And number 3, moving too fast. So this is kind of the thing that happened to me, okay? In a business, bad things are going to happen. Not maybe it'll happen. No. Bad things are for sure going to happen. You have to be full ready for it, okay? And when I'm saying moving too fast, and I'll kind of emphasize on what my point is here in a second, but basically, let's say you have a business and you fuck up. Let's say a customer's not happy, a client's not happy, and instead of handling the problem, you just pivot business models or just fucking completely change what you're doing. That's panic. You can never let the panic fully get in your body. Yes, you have to feel the panic on the outside because it makes you work harder and it makes you motivated and it makes you be more efficient, I guess. But in terms of panic, like in that way, moving too fast, you cannot let it get in you. Let's say you're paying someone $500 a month and you have plenty of money to pay them, but at the end of the month, you're not making any ROI on it, so you just cancel that. You get rid of the person. You have to give it a shot, guys. You have to give it 3 or 4 months. You can't just give it a month. Month is not enough time. That's the way I look at it, especially when it comes to hiring. Most employees you're hiring are probably to help you make money. So you have to give them more time than a month, maybe even 7 or 8 months or even a year, okay? So that really just depends on, I guess, what you're doing in your business strategy. But it's ultra important to understand that. Too much fear. So you're gonna be fearful, that's okay, but you can't let it get to you. All these things are basically internal things that I have personally dealt with, and all of us have overcome all of them, but I have personally dealt too much fear. I was really scared at the beginning to start. I was scared to take a lot of risk. I was scared to spend money. I had fear. I did not want to spend money at first, not just because I didn't have the entrepreneur brain. Obviously, I'm learned and I'm adaptive now, but when I started, this is like back in my matrix mindset. I was a fucking high schooler, okay? So I obviously knew I wanted to get out of the matrix. I knew I wanted to fucking be ultra rich, and I knew I wanted to be a billionaire one day, but I didn't know exactly how the whole process worked. I just simply wasn't smart. In school, they never teach you that type of stuff. They never teach you how to actually make money. They teach you how to pay taxes, how to be a good employee, how to put all your money in a 401k and Roth IRA or whatever and be fucking poor the rest of your life. And that's what they teach you. If you want to learn from a real G like me, you would understand that you need to do these things and implement them in your brain right away. Okay, and also moving too fast. Again, I already mentioned it a second ago. But don't, in terms of pivoting, right? Don't pivot business models right away. Stick to the current business model you're in. Give it at least 6 months. I made this mistake when I first started. I was bouncing around business models. Now I luckily have one I'm good at and I've obviously helped a lot of people in. But understand that if you pivot too quickly, it's gonna fuck up. But also, in the same time, on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you pivot, it can be a good thing, or you just fix some things up. You just have to have really good timing with it. And basically what I'm saying is you need to have a killer gut instinct, okay, which is very difficult to have, but I have it, I was born with it. Some of you guys are born with it, some who aren't. I feel kind of bad for you, but you have to learn it, right? So again, I think it's very important to, as an entrepreneur who has had a lot of success, and I've also made a lot of mistakes too, but I've had a lot of success, especially for my age. I've been on like almost a dozen podcasts now, doing very well on social media, a lot more viewage and stuff, and also have, I helped a wholesaling business. So when I first started, I was in wholesaling, real estate. We were doing multiple 6 figures a month in deals, right? And now we're running my company, Go Creative AI. But I literally was part of a 7-figure organization when I was 18 years old. So I have a very clear indication on things that I worked on and I worry about. Also, people who are older than me. I was working with people who are 30, 40 years old who are doing this at a very high level, who are the best in the industry, literally the best in the industry. And I saw every single thing they were doing every single day. And I learned that, I took it with me, and I'm now sharing it to you guys and also, to myself and my brain in my own business. So I hope you guys do take a few things from this. Everyone should talk about their mistakes and be vulnerable. And I feel like for me, it's going to be vulnerable and help you guys because these 3 things are sauce in my opinion. And I think if you can understand these 3 things that I had to deal with, I'm hoping at least one of them you can take with you and really put it in your head. So, hey, maybe you're scared to spend money. You can think about the video that you watched that I'm talking about here. And maybe you can be like, well, Colin said, don't be scared to spend money. I just need to make more money so I can't invest more in myself. That's the mindset switch. It's basically a mindset switch. All of these things are simply for your mindset and making you do more and I guess getting the most output out of all the inputs you're putting in. So again, I hope you guys enjoy. take some value from this video. Very important mistakes I guess had and I dealt with, and I also learned from. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Watch this video above me right here. This is going to give you a lot more value too. And my goal is to give you guys as much value as possible because I want to see you guys succeed just like myself. Thank you.